Hi guys, we're going to do notes a little bit differently today since I'm not here. You should all have the foldable that you were given Friday after the test. If you were not here or you lost it, see if the sub has any extra copies left. It's going to be a little bit different since I'm reading to you the notes and you're going to be writing them down. Just know that at any point you can pause the video, stop it, and go back. This will be up here for the entire unit, so you can always revisit it to see if you have questions later on. So we're going to start with the top left-hand corner. So your foldable should be full, like a little booklet that opens. And underneath write the equation of a line given the slope and the y-intercept. We're going to revisit again what slope is in our slope formula. So remember from the last unit that slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. Remember that m represents the slope and b is the y-intercept. Remember, we always write the y-intercept as an ordered pair, so it's 0, comma b. So this entire unit is not on graphing, it's the opposite. Given a graph, write an equation, or given the information about the slope and the y-intercept, write the equation. So in this first example, write an equation of the line with a slope of -2 and the y-intercept of 5. So remember, that's the b value, and the slope is m. So we're going to plug in for y equals mx plus b. We have m to plug in, and we have b to plug in. So we have y equals -2x plus 5. And that's your equation. It doesn't say graph, it just says write the equation. In example 2, same idea here. It says that the slope is 8, and the y-intercept is -7. So we have y equals, the slope is 8, so mx, plus b. In this case, the y-intercept's negative, so it's -7. For example 3, write the equation of the line with a slope of 3/4 and a y-intercept, or a b value of -5. So y equals 3/4 x minus 5. So hopefully you're thinking this is a little easy right now. Okay, so we're going to move to the next tab, which is to the right, and on the front of it, it says write the equation of a line given the graph. So in 4 and 5, we have a graph there. In order to write the equation of the line, remember you need two things. The first thing you need is the slope. The second thing you need is the y-intercept. We're not given the slope exactly, but we can find it in this case by counting. So remember, start furthest left. How many down do we go to get to that next point? 1, 2. So going down is negative. And then we have to go right. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our slope is down 2, right 4. Always simplify. So it's -1/2. What's the y-intercept? Again, where does it cross the y-axis? Take a look. We can see it in this case. There's a point there. It says that it crosses at 1. So we can write our equation. Y equals -1/2 x plus 1. If you need to go back and rewind or anything, remember you can always pause it and come back. In example 5, same idea. Write the equation of the line shown. First thing we need is the slope. Let's count it. Furthest point left, up how many? 1, 2, 3, over 2. So our slope is 3/2. And how about the second thing that we need? We need the y-intercept. Looks like it crosses the y-axis down at -3. So to write our equation, we have y equals, first the slope times x, then the y-intercept. Remember, it's -3 because the y-intercept is -3. Okay, moving down to the bottom left, where you have to write the equation of a line given 2 points. So no graph in this case. It is really important to remember the slope formula, which we have right here in the foldable for you. A lot of the material from last unit is appearing in this unit. So write the equation of the line that passes through the points. Again, you need the slope and the y-intercept. We don't know the slope, but we have a way we can find the slope by using the formula. So if you want to put x1, y1, x2, and y2, remember that always helps. So let's plug it into the formula. We have -1 minus -5. What's going to happen there? We should hopefully be seeing it becomes plus 5. And then we have 4 over 3. So our slope is 4 over 3. How about the y-intercept? Hopefully you notice something about this point that has a 0 and then a -5. So the y-intercept we were given in that ordered pair, it's -5. So let's plug it into the equation. Y equals 4/3 x minus 5. When you don't know the slope, you have to find it by using the formula if it's not on a graph. Same thing with 7. What do you notice about this point here? 0, 2. Hopefully you're noticing that it's the y-intercept. Okay, we could find the slope by using the formula, or we could plot the points. I say we do both to make sure we do it right. Okay, so I plotted both points there. If we draw a line connecting them, let's see, I'm going to find the slope using the formula first, and then I'm going to count it on the graph to make sure that I have it right. I got -3 over 4 using the formula. On the graph, if I start furthest left, I go down 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. Remember, when you go down, it's negative. So it looks like we got the slope right. So our equation, y equals, we plug in -3/4 for m. Always put x there. Then plus b, our y-intercept. Where does it cross the y-axis? At any point, if you need to get up and grab highlighters or markers or colored pencils, you know where they are in the front of the room. Help yourself. Last 2 examples on writing equations. Number 8, write an equation for the linear function with the values f of 0 equals 5 and f of 4 equals 17. Remember function notation? F of x equals y, where x is your input and y is your, hopefully you're thinking, output. And how can we make this into an ordered pair? It already is an ordered pair. It's the ordered pair x comma y. So we can take function notation here and take the x's, whatever's inside the parentheses, and then take the y's, whatever's on the outside, the output, and use the 2 ordered pairs in order to write the equation. We need the slope and the y-intercept. Do we already have the y-intercept? It looks like it. Anytime you have 0 in front of the y value, you know it's the y-intercept. So now all we have to do is find the slope. So we have x1, y1, x2, y2. Go ahead and plug it into the formula. Again, if you want to pause it and do it on your own and check to see if you write it correctly, it's not a bad idea. So 17 minus 5 over 4 minus 0, 12 over 4. Hopefully we wouldn't leave it like that, right? That simplifies to 3 over 1, which is just 3. So your final equation, y equals 3x. Go back, what was the y-intercept? It was 5, and it's positive, so we write plus 5. The very last problem here is an application problem, which just is a fancy way of saying a word problem. So let's read through it. A recording studio charges musicians an initial fee of $50 to record an album. Studio time costs an additional $35 per hour. So we have these keywords here. Initial fee of 50, and then we have 35 per hour. Hopefully that per hour is reminding you of rate of change. And rate of change is a fancy way of saying slope. So what does that mean? That means that we know our slope is 35 and we know our b value or our y-intercept is 50. It's the fixed rate, it's not changing. But we're not using y and x, we're using function notation. So it's saying to write the equation that gives the total cost C of an album as the function of studio time H. So remember f of x, this is similar to that. It's C of H, so the cost of an album based on the time equals, and now we use that information, the slope, 35, but still use H, we're not using x, and then plus 50 because that's the y-intercept. So the last question we're going to answer requires using function notation. Find the total cost of recording an album that takes 10 hours of studio time. Where do you think we should put 10? In the input for H or in the output? Remember, the output is cost and the input is hours. This is saying 10 hours. So we would plug it in for H, which means we're putting it in the input. So 35 times 10 plus 50. So $350 plus 50 additional dollars gives you a total cost of $400. Okay, eventually you're going to do a couple practice problems on your own with these types of problems, but I'm going to have you take a few quick notes in your notebook so you can leave your notebook out and just write on the next page we're going to pick up in the next video. So you need to go back to Canvas and click on the next video that says writing linear equations. If you have any questions, make sure you are asking the sub. I'll be here in the morning, and we're going to review this stuff tomorrow also.